HTTP uses internet address in a special format called Uniform Resource Locator or called URL. Main function of server is to access, hold and transfer of all the files and data from other computer machine over the computer network. For any education sectors, they will be provided with a domain name that is .edu, that is for educational purpose. Dear students, welcome to Computer Science classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in computers, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Students, let us start our discussion with web basics, and in this session we are going to learn few terminologies with respect to website or www. We'll start with what is web portal, and in our previous session we have discussed how we have learned about the what is www and World Wide Web, website and web page. Now let us continue discussion with the definition web portal. So what is a web portal? And it is a website and which hosts another website. So what is the meaning of this? One particular website which hosts another website means it is possible to access another website. That is the meaning of which hosts another websites. I mean, through one website we are accessing the other websites. That is, those type of websites are called as web portals. Now, in other words, web portal has hyperlink to many other websites. Now, you know what is a hyperlink? So, through hyperlink, it is possible for us to connect from one website to another website. So, through hyperlink, it is possible for us to connect different websites. That is web portal. Next one is by clicking upon this link, the corresponding website can be opened. So by clicking on the hyperlink or in a website and the corresponding website is opened in the same tab or in the next tab or in the new tab, that is web portal. Next one is a portal is a web-based platform. So web portal is a platform that collects information from different resources into a single user interface and presents user with the most relevant information for their context. So this is the another definition of or the applications of web portal. What is the use of web portal? So it's going to gather all information. So it is a platform and it is a place where it's going to gather information for the user. It is available at the single website or at the one particular location, and it presents the user with the most relevant information. That is the application of web portal or the use of web portal. And here example, vendor web portals, patients portal, government portals and student faculty portals, banking and insurance portals. See, these are all different web portals or nothing but different types of websites provide services to the user at one particular location. These are called as web portals. Now in the next slide, let us see what is URL. Here URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. So here it is an address of a file on the internet. Now you know what is internet and you know what is www, that is World Wide Web. So as I told you, inside the World Wide Web or in the World Wide Web, all informations are stored in the form of a website, and each website has its own unique address that is nothing but your URL or address of the file on the internet. And an internet structure of the World Wide Web is built on the protocol HTTP. This is what we have seen in our previous slide. And the page description language called HTML. So HTML is a language through that we are going to write the information through on the web page through a HTML language. So HTML language to display or we write the description through HTML language, and HTTP is a protocol to work with www. Now HTTP uses internet address in a special format called Uniform resource locator are called URL. It is an address on the internet called URL. So HTTP will make use of this URL for identification of different websites, and it has its own format. Say it looks like this. This is the example for one of the URL. Here type, and next one is address and the path of that particular web page. And in a typical URL, the HTTP, it identifies the protocol and type of the server. At the beginning, it is HTTP. This is I'm talking about type. Here HTTP, it identifies what type of protocol and what type of server it is. Next, according to standard URL, a colon and 2 forward slash and follows the protocol and server. This is the syntax of the URL. Now, commonly a web server's name will begin with www for World Wide Web. So this is URL. Now in the next slide, say look at the example now. Say URL type is specify the type of the server in which the file is located. Now we know it is a web server and all information is stored in the web server. So first of all, the type specify where the informations are stored or on which server it is stored. Next, address, it is address of the server, and path is location of the file on the server. So now look at the example now. HTTP colon and here forward slash, then ncycle.msn.com /getinfo/styles.asp. And in this example, HTTP, it is a type of a server. So HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, it is a server, and ncycle.msn.com, it is address of the server. So this is the address of the server, and getinfo/style.asp, it is a path of a file style.asp. This is active server page. So it is this particular file is located under the server HTTP, and the name of the server is ncycle.msn.com. So this is how the URL is written, or this is the standard format of URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Now in the next slide, next one is internet servers or web servers. Now we know what is a server, and here we have different types of servers. So web server, now here web server is a software underlying hardware that accepts the request via HTTP, the network protocol created to distribute the web pages. Now as we have seen, this World Wide Web works with the protocol HTTP, and as it is a server, web server, it accepts the request from the client and respond to the client with the information in the form of web pages. Now main function of server is to access, hold and transfer of all the files and data from other computer machine over the computer network. So the main function of server, it is going to respond to the client through a software, or respond to the client software to the client computer by accessing, hold and transfer of files through computer network. Now let us see some examples. Here example FTP server, mail server and file server. So these are all different types of server. It can be configured in any organization. And here the leading web server, Apache server, Microsoft Internet Information Services, IIS server, Novell's NetWare server, and Google Web Server, JWS. All these are different name of web servers we can make use of. Next one is the text and binary files that are organized in hierarchical structure, and inside this particular directory or in the website, all the informations are stored in the form of a tree structure. I mean text and binary files that are organized in a tree structure in a definite order. Now in the next slide, we talk about domain name. What are domain names? Now the domain name is the address where internet users can access your website. So if we talk about website, if you look at the website, every website must contain a domain name. So that is the name internet user can access any website through their domain name. So it is used to identify one or more IP addresses. You know what is IP addresses? That is nothing but internet protocol IP addresses. Each and every computer in the network has a unique address that is called IP address, and it is used to identify the IP address in the network, computer network. And they are using URLs to identify particular web page or web pages. So we are identifying the information not through in the form of IP address, in the form of domain name, and two letters abbreviations indicating the country name. And here we have different types of domain. This is country domain, maybe use example HTTP, and here this URL, and here last one is IN. This is your country domain. It is a 2 character in length. It is IN stands for India. So here this is India. IN stands for India. It is a country domain. Now let us see few examples. AU stands for Australian domains, DK for Denmark, IN for India. If you come across any website or URL with .in, it stands for India. It is Indian domain. NZ for New Zealand, UK for United Kingdom. These are all different country domain. Country domains is of 2 characters. It is a 2-letter name. Now in the next slide, we can see some of the most common domains. So these are the common domains available to the users. So first one is com, domain ID is com. We say .com. We might have come across some websites with a .com. That is nothing but .com. It is for commercial websites and used for commercial firms or generally for business. Large business, they will go for the domain names .com. And similarly, .edu. EDU stands for education. So this is for educational organization. So for any educational sectors, they will be provided with a domain name that is .edu. That is for educational purpose. Next one is .gov. It is .gov. It is for government sector or any government public sectors will be given the domain name .gov. Next one is .mil. It is for military application for the defense purpose. And here all these domain names are different domain names for different fields. And here .mil, generally it is for defense. Now in the next slide, some other domains. .net, it is a network resources for ISPs and network. ISP stands for Internet Service Providers. Generally, they will be given .net. And this is .org. It is .org. It is for non-profit organization, or we say NGOs. We say it is for NGOs, and for small companies, for a small organization, they might have given the domain name .org. And by looking at the domain name, we can make out the type of businesses or what the website belongs to. Then .co for company, and .biz for business, TV for television, and so on. These are different domains will be given to different types of users or organizations. Now in the next slide, next one is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that is HTTP. This is what you have seen in our previous session or previous slide. So it is a protocol, and it used to work with the www, that is World Wide Web, and it is an application layer protocol, and it designed to transfer information between the network devices that runs on top of the other layers of the network protocol. So here this is a type of protocol used to work with the World Wide Web, that is HTTP. And Hypertext Transfer Protocol is a system of rules which allows data to be transferred using World Wide Web. and that is what we have seen in our previous slide. And we are using this through URL, that is Uniform Resource Locator. That is nothing but address of your website in a web server. Next one is, let us see what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. Nowadays, you might have come across any website. As soon as you click on any of the website addresses, and you please observe the address bar of the web browser, then you can make out the difference. And here we used to get HTTP or HTTPS, and here S stands for secure. And here first one, look at the parameters. HTTP, it is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and it is Hypertext Transfer Protocol secure. Next one is an underlying protocol, HTTP 1 to TCP/IP, and it is QIC protocol. And here it also uses 2, and this is SSL and TLS, and HTTP request and response, and this is we are using for encryption. That is SSL and TLS are the protocol used for data encryption. Next, default port will be configured by 80 here for HTTP, and this is 443. These are the port numbers. By default, it will be configured to that particular port. This is HTTP and HTTP, yes. Next, in the next slide, and HTTP is a older text-based website, and it is all modern website. The current websites are, it is a standard of HTTPS standard. Next, security, no additional security features, and here it used SSL certification for public key encryption. So this is another advantage of secure. So here, and is going to provide additional security in the form of SSL, that is a certificate level of and public key data encryption. Next, what are the advantage of benefits of this? So here, it made communication over the internet possible, and it improves the website authority, trust, and search engine ranking. Next version of HTTP, it is secured. It's going to provide these many services apart from this, what HTTP was, we were using it. So this is HTTP and HTTP, yes. Next, we want to next slide, that is HTML5. Now you know what is HTML language, that is hypertext markup language. Say, hypertext markup language we use to display information and in the form of web pages. So here HTML5, this is language 5, is a markup language used for structuring and presenting content in the World Wide Web. So it is next higher end version of HTML language. It is a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript with API. So this is additional feature of HTML5. And example, you can see what difference between these two. Say drawing and animation using Canvas. This is an application of HTML5, and offline storage, micro data, audio and video, drag and drop options, and your geolocations, embedded fonts, web APIs, all are the features of HTML5 language. These were missing in HTML language. And this HTML5, it includes another additional tags along with the old tag. So it supports even the old tags also. This is HTML5. Now let us see the features of HTML5. And here one is new semantic tag. So here we're using header, NAV, and section, article, footer. These are all the different tags we use in HTML5. For audio, and video, these are the tags, and these tags were missing in HTML languages. And new form of control, these new attributes, new input types, progress bar. You know what is a progress bar? That is an advantage of HTML5. SVG, tag for vector-based drawings, shapes, and pie chart and bar graphs, and canvases. It is for 2D drawings using JavaScript. And CCS3, it is new selectors and properties for better styling. It is for better styling, transition, transformation, animation, and embedded font, filters, and so on. See, these are all the additional feature of HTML5. So students, in the session, we have learned the different web terminologies or different terms normally used in website or with respect to World Wide Web. Thank you very much.